Ariel, and this is Maven Unmasked. Welcome back. And today I'm going to do a Mercury and retrograde reading for everyone. Now I know Mercury retrograde ends on June 22nd, but then we'll also still have 3 weeks left of the shadow period. So we'll still have some lingering effects. So I wanted to take a look back and, what's ahead in terms of what have we learned, what was it trying to teach us, how to be successful, anybody, peeking out from our past that's trying to, say hello and disrupt our lives, and what's our secret weapon. So today for this reading, as I'm sure you already know if you saw on my Instagram, I've been pretty active on my Instagram lately, I am using the Modern Witch Tarot for this reading, and it is by Lisa Sturl. It's a beautiful deck. If you like the traditional Rider-Waite style, but the artwork doesn't seem super modern for you, this is the deck to go for. It's super inclusive and I love it. I'll probably be doing a walkthrough of that at some point. Now, I've already drawn cards. Like I said, if you've been on my Instagram, you've already seen what the cards are, but I gave you just a little sneak peek. So this here is the more in-depth reading. Okay, so our first card in first position in this spread is what has Mercury retrograde tried to teach us or tried to teach you? And we have the Chariot here, okay? The Chariot. Sorry, I have a new setup, so I'm not sure how the glare is gonna be on the cards, but if you want a better picture of them, you can see it on my Instagram. But we have the Chariot, and the Chariot is all about, especially with Mercury retrograde in Gemini, we have the twins. Gemini is the twins. We have that duality, the light and the shadow, the light and the dark. And I love that here with the Lovers card as well. We'll talk about that in a minute, but there's also that duality here. But the Chariot, it represents balance. Which way are we going? Are we focused? Part of it's like we have a little bit of ADD. We want to do something over here and we want to do something over there, but we really have to harmonize and learn to balance ourselves to be able to move forward and push forward and drive forward. So it seems like, especially now that COVID, things are starting to open up. There's so many things that we want to do, so many things that we wish we did last year, but we weren't able to. Now it's time to narrow down the focus a little bit. We can only do one thing at a time. So what do you choose to do first? How can you bring balance and harmony in those, the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine, as we see here with the Lovers? How can we bring those into harmony? And then this card, the Lovers card, is for our second position in the spread, and it represents what we've learned in this Mercury retrograde. So those two cards are kind of tied together. I love that, the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine, it's represented in both of these cards. And the two sides of our personality, our light and our shadow, the good side of us, the darker, deeper, hidden side of us. How has that come to light? How has our attitude changed? And, what do we need to do to be able to move forward from that? What pieces of each side of us is serving us and which is not? How can we use those to continue to move forward this Mercury retrograde? I also think in terms of the Lovers with Mercury retrograde, how can we not talk about love and, these exes, coming back from the past? And, trust me, I have had my fair share during many, many Mercury retrogrades. But were we strong enough to say, okay, this is where I was, but it's not where I want to be. I'm a different person now. My needs have changed. Who I am as a human being has changed. What I want has changed. Okay. So how has love been important to us, and what we love and what we desire been important to us? Okay. And then our next card here, we have the Four of Pentacles. So blast from the past. Again, Lovers. I love this spread. The cards just flew out so beautifully together. And I feel like this reading is so harmonious, especially considering the Gemini, it's two different sides of the coin, but it's still one piece. So it's very harmonious here. But the blast from the past that's trying to throw us off, we have the Four of Pentacles. And this really speaks to what are we holding on to? It could be monetary. Okay, I feel like for a lot of us, this has been about monetary struggles, especially again with COVID, lots of people on unemployment, lots of people changing careers, lots of people going back to school, lots of people, have lost their homes and all of that. you know, holding on to old relationships. To me in particular, you know, as a woman of a certain age that I am now, to me, it speaks about holding on to things that no longer exist, the nostalgia of those things. So, you know, who we used to be friends with, where we used to live, who we used to have relationships with, grieving our childhood, grieving our past, yearning for those things and not being able to let that go. So there's no room for new things to come in. In addition to that, again, back on the monetary aspect, because we are talking about pentacles, okay? Pentacles, that with the money struggles, you know, we're living in a state of lack, some of us. And by trying to hold on to money and saving money, living in a state of lack doesn't generate new forms of income, doesn't generate new money. So if you've had some lack mindset, you know, that you had gotten out of, but now you're back in it again, really focus in and hone in on trying to get rid of that and be more positive, be more uplifted. You know, say some abundance affirmations. I generate wealth and health daily. I create abundance in my life with every breath. Things of that nature. Make your own and have fun with it. Also with Pentacles, we're talking about health. So I want to say some of us are holding on to a few extra pounds. I know I am, so you don't have to leave a comment about it. But you know, some of us who may have struggled with our weight during COVID and everything, we put that weight back on. So that's another blast from the past we need to get rid of. Okay. And then next, our fourth card is, what do we have to do to make it through successfully? We have the Hierophant here. The Hierophant, I never really thought of it as one of my favorite cards, but every time I see it pop up in a reading, I always really enjoy it, because to me, it just speaks of pure spirituality. I know it can mean institutions, work, school, those kinds of things, hospitals, all of that. But to me, it really speaks of spirituality and faith. And I'm sorry, I know I have like a hair or something is driving me nuts. But faith, okay? I also want to say with this, to make it through successfully, some of you may have been considering going back to school, to learn a new trade, to start a new job, to start a new spiritual practice, a new religious practice, and a new tradition. So focusing on that, remembering what your spirituality has done for you in the past and applying that to the now. Okay, what spiritual tools do you have in your toolkit, in your spiritual toolbox? How can you break those things open again? For me personally, I had put tarot down for a while, as I'm sure some of you know already. But, you know, sometimes pulling your cards back out, taking your paintbrush out, you know, getting your journal out, whatever it is for you, can really help us navigate difficult times in our lives. And then our last card here, which is the shadow card in our reading, which so it is the card on the bottom of the deck, and it's the underlying core, the theme that permeates the entire reading. We have the High Priestess, and the High Priestess in position in this reading is, what is our secret weapon during this Mercury retrograde? And it is our intuition. And I also love here, she's on her laptop. So I want to say intuition and information, seeing the big picture, seeing, you know, whatever you're going through from all sides to find your way out. And again, too, we have the light and the dark, the light and the shadow, okay? Integrating those, learning about those things, learning about yourself. You know, a lot, you know, through COVID, we've had to learn a lot about ourselves. So I really think that intuition, of course, is key here. But that is your secret weapon for this Mercury retrograde. Okay, especially when it comes to all this integration, harmonious, you know, balance, the light and the shadow, and we're holding on to things. Listen to your intuition about all of that. But again, I'm Ariel, and this has been Maven Unmasked. Please, please, please do me a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Like this video, share this video with your friends, or someone who's witchy or woo-woo, anyone you think who could use this reading. It really helps me out, and I appreciate you sharing my readings with your loved ones and your friends. But please be sure to follow me on Instagram at Maven Unmasked. I'm on TikTok now. I never thought I'd say that, but I'm on TikTok now at Maven Unmasked. Of course, MavenUnmasked.com. And please feel free to book a reading with me at any time. Have a great one, lovelies, and happy Mercury retrograde. Bye.